I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. How much will the war in Ukraine cost you? Because it's going to cost you. It's already costing you. You're already paying higher prices. At first, there was inflation before the war got started, the 24th of February of this year. There was inflation, 6 point something inflation. Now inflation is nearly up to 8% because of the fact that Russia has had all of these, if you use the stipulations put on them, and they are unable to do any business. As $630 billion of Vladimir Putin's money has been held in a bank, and sanctions have been put on by Joe Biden. And oil prices are going through the roof. So you're paying more right now. You are paying for the war in Ukraine. Let me say this. I identify myself, I'm a Christian, I'm a Hamite, but because of my loving relationship with my Jewish brothers, because of my loving relationship with the Old Testament, because of my loving relationship with the prophets of old, because of my loving relationship with the Jews of today, because of my loving relationship for Israel, I call myself a Zionist. That's what I do. I'm not a Jew hater. I'm a Jew lover. I call myself a Zionist. That's how deep my love is for the Jews and the Zionist Jews. There's a book called The Zionist Protocols. Have you ever heard of it? It's been around. They don't talk about it very much. It used to be a very popular discussion in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. One of the things about the protocols and other ancillary books around the protocols ideas was that no war that America or Europe was involved in could take place unless Jewish bankers funded it. Now, I'm going to say that again. I'm a Zionist. I'm not against you. I'm just telling you what's been reported. But a large number of other people outside of the Zionist protocols, ideas, or outside of those who are Jew haters, which I'm not. I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm a Jew lover. But a number of other people from a historical perspective have stated that Jewish bankers are the strongest group of bankers on the planet in terms of having money and running the financial institution all over the planet. Said that you got to have money to fight a war. You got to have some money. And that no war can go forward unless a Jewish banker is willing to fund it. So we have to ask the question, did Putin consult with Jewish bankers about the funding? Because even though Putin's got plenty of money, he's got billions of dollars, he sells $1 billion, he gets $1 billion a day from Europe for the oil that he sells, and other monies, other things that they sell, even their caviar, their vodka. But did Putin consult with Jews about funding for the war, because to keep the economy strong? And the other question I would ask, an inquisitive mind such as mine would ask, did Putin, whether he needs money from the Jewish protocols to fight this war? Because it takes money. You got to have big money to put on a war. You just don't walk into a war because you're angry and mad. You can be mad all you want. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no war. Did Putin discuss, cohort with Jews, that while Biden is putting sanction on him, it's really the Jews behind the scene that you never see that got the hold on Biden. And though Biden thinks he's got a hold on $630 billion of money of Putin, the truth of the matter is it's the Jewish bankers that got that money. And if Putin wants it, he can get it. That's just my inquisitive mind. That's the way the world works. They report to you in the news about this and that. Don't you believe that? Don't you believe that Biden can stop Putin's cash flow? The Jews can stop it, but not Biden. He can't stop a thing. Biden can't stop going to the bathroom. But the thing I want to say to you is that how much is this war costing you? Because in Europe, if this war rages on to next winter, and the European Union just made an announcement on yesterday that they're going to completely 100% cold turkey stop buying Russian oil. That ain't going to happen. Now, they're talking about it, but that ain't going to happen. because they figure they got the summer now, they can try to get through, they can try to get oil embargo. Listen, Russia can put that oil on a ship, sell it around the Horn of Africa, and sell it back to the Jews, not to the Jews, but to Europe anyway. So there's a lot of finagling going on with wars. And what I want to ask you about is that how much are we paying for here in America? That how much are we in America paying? How much is this war costing us? How much is it costing the taxpayer? Biden said the other day in a press conference that he was going to give Zelensky in Ukraine $33 billion, right? Now, the Ukrainian military government is only $6 billion per year, military budget rather, not government, but military budget. It's only $6 billion per year. Biden said he's going to give him $33 billion just like that. So where that money coming from? Well, you can increase the deficit and raise it that way, but somewhere that money got to be paid for. And not only that, but here's the real kicker, and I'm going to let you go. Remember, I opened up a few moments ago the Zionist protocols that I don't care how mad you are. I don't care if you're the Sandinistas down there in Latin America. You want to have a war, you got to have a Jewish banker to buy your equipment. You got to have a Jewish banker. That's what the Zionist protocols say. So if that's the case, that, how much this war, Biden took a plane ride yesterday down to someplace in Alabama and went down there to the place where they make these howitzer missiles or something. I don't know what they do down there. Biden went down there yesterday and to salute that military, because now the military industrial complex is making big money selling these weapons. They can't wait to sell them and can't wait for the Ukrainians to shoot them at the Russians. So the military plants are now making money, grandmama. So wars are very profitable. It's a good thing, unless your son got to go off the wall. But they make it. I'll tell you what, I got a clip. Biden went down to salute and to kiss their behind down there, making all that money down there in Alabama, that military plant, selling these bombs to Zelensky over there in Ukraine. Roll that clip, Mr. Engineer.
Know that the United States is leading our allies and partners around the world to make sure the courageous Ukrainians who are fighting for the future of their nation have the weapons and the capacity and ammunition and equipment to defend themselves against Putin's brutal war. What we don't always see, is the work that makes so much of this possible. And that's you. The armed forces of the United States of America is going to continue to be the best armed, most capable fighting force in the history of the world. In order to do that, we have to make sure our vital defense supplies are getting the inputs and supplies they need to produce and protect and provide the full capacity. I'm determined to make sure the United States hold its technological high ground in competition with other nations, especially China, as we move forward. And by funding the CHIPS Act, we're going to ensure that semiconductors, the power of the economy, and our national security are made here in America again.
So the rich get richer and poor people get killed. That's it. The rich get richer, making more tanks and planes and bombs and bullets and rifles. The rich get richer. These people, they don't put on a pot, and poor people get killed. Young boys die. But these manufacturers of these weapons, and by the way, listen, I'm not being there raising my voice to say somehow or another, I don't think we should have wars, that we should go to war. I mean, listen about it, they might start knocking on America's door, start talking about, they go, whatever they start talking about, bombing Pearl Harbor, whatever else they're talking about, we've got to go to war. But you got to have some money. You got to have some money. You got to have money. You can't go to war poor. Poor people ain't going to win no war. You got to have some money. And one of the reasons why this war is so, a lot of the things are terribly misunderstood about this war is because, Israel is kind of standing off in the background because, a lot of Jewish bankers, somebody said something the other day about this Lavrov, this guy, the so-called Secretary of State for Russia. Lavrov said something about, Russia, Putin is saying that Zelensky has got Jewish blood in him. Because, Russia's been saying we are denazifying Ukraine, getting rid of all the Nazis out of there. So to counter that, they say, well, how you gonna have a man who's the president of Ukraine who's got Jewish blood in him? So Lavrov retorted, well, Hitler had Jewish blood in himself as well. I don't know that to be true. I don't know, I don't know to be true or untrue whether Hitler had Jewish blood. But man, you should have seen the Jews just start jumping up and down about that. They've been silent about this war. All the women being raped, all the babies being killed, all the soldiers being decapitated, all the tanks being blown up, all the hell being raised. Israel and the Jews was quiet. There's been quiet, ain't said a word. But when he started talking about that Hitler and that Jews are self-haters by killing themselves, because Hitler was a Jew and Zelensky is a Jew, they open up their mouths. But the thing I want to say is this, is that they're not jumping up and down and saying stop the war, because it's like saying stop paying me $2-3 billion a day. It's when you look at the conglomeration of the investment of what it takes globally to fight this war, the Jews are making a lot of money. Israel is making a whole lot of money. The Jews around the world, right here in New York on Wall Street, are making a whole lot of money. Want to keep the war drum beating? No, that's how it is. I told you, I'm a Zionist. That's right. So, Pastor, you're a Christian? Yeah, I'm a Christian Zionist. What do you mean? You mean you subscribe to the Zionist protocol? I said I'm a Zionist. I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't hate Jews. I'm not trying to run down Jews. I'm just telling you what the truth is. I'm just telling you what Jesus loves. And Jesus was a Jew. Tell you something. This war is a whole lot of young people going to die. There are going to be more women who will be widows and children who are fatherless in the next couple of years than you can shake a stick at. But there's going to be a whole lot of Jewish people and other people associated, munitions maker, weapons maker, and everybody else going to get richer and rich while poor people die. So how much is it going to cost you? Maybe you won't find yourself fighting, but you're going to pay more for oil. And you say, well, I get an electric car. That ain't nothing. Well, you ain't said nothing. You're going to pay more for electricity. You thought you ran away from something by getting an electric car? You're going to pay more for electricity? Sure. And you're going to pay more for electricity in your home. You ain't going nowhere. This war is going to cost you money. It's going to cost everybody money. I'd venture to say, of course, the Vietnam War brought on inflation back in the 1960s and 70s. And then the Arab embargo of the 1970s, 73, 74, whenever it was, brought a gas crisis where I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life. People in line for days waiting to buy gas. And then you get to the gas station, it's all out. Because Arabs over there say, we'll show you all a lesson. We'll show you who's really running everything. You can talk all that American democracy, constitution, and capitalism talk all you want. You can talk it till you're blue in the face. But we ain't going to let y'all have no oil. See what you're going to do then. It was a mess. Some of y'all too young to remember that. So I just wanted to express to you, it's been historically taught, and people from my historical and educational background and my association with people of the, in the know that you can't have, every time somebody says we're going to war, it's Jewish money that supports it. Now, I've told you I'm not an anti-Semite, I say that. And then the military-industrial complex, they are making money. It's like, if no bombs are dropping, no tanks are being, then the factories shut down. And then in times of war, you can make a tank or a helicopter or a howitzer or a armored military personnel carrier and put a price tag on it that's through the roof. And the people buy it because we got to go to war. We got to fight this war. So I think that's something that you might want to think about in terms of where we are in terms of this war. Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Yeah, Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. You've been building your kingdom all over Harlem, But Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Yeah, Satan, I'm gonna preach your kingdom down. Satan, I'm gonna preach your kingdom down. You've been building your kingdom all the hollow. But Satan, I'm gonna preach your kingdom down. Yeah, 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 yeah. Satan, I'm gonna pray your kingdom down. Satan, I'm gonna pray your kingdom down. You've been building your filthy kingdom all over this world. But Satan, I'm gonna pray your kingdom down. Put that in your book, Satan. I'm coming for you, homie. I'm coming for you. Oh no! That's what God said. That's what God said. That's what God said.